All right, we are here back live. Well, not really live, but we are here recording at 365 Fitness in Sardis, Alabama, with a very special guest who's been on our show before, not in an interview, but in some posts before. And I'm going to let that young lady introduce herself at this time.
My name is Natalee Garrard, and I'm a sophomore here at Sardis High School, and I'm 15 years old.
Natalee, we're going to start today. You got a very special story I think is very unique. That's why we're doing this interview. I think it could inspire a lot of people. So, but before we get into what your story is and why we're sitting here, take us back to where you were born at and what that looked like for you as a child.
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and then we moved to Southside, Alabama, and then I moved here to Sardis, Alabama.
How old was you when you moved here?
I was 2.
2? See, do you remember all that?
I don't remember much. I just remember having a little neighbor in Southside and playing with her across the road.
Gotcha. We got a big following in Southside, so I'm sure people will remember you from there. So when you were a little child, what were your hobbies back then? What did you get into back then?
Softball and gymnastics and basketball were definitely my favorite.
Gymnastics obviously stuck with you, so you've been doing that for how long now?
I've been doing tumbling since I was 3.
So the reason we say that is you cheer now and have been cheering for how many years total?
About since I was 8 or 9.
And you just made the squad again, correct?
Yes, I just made the varsity squad for...
That's a lot. Now we're getting somewhere. So obviously that's got to be a passion of yours, but we're also sitting in this gym because you have another passion. You got a workout fitness journey that we're about to talk about. Talk about how you got into that. And I know you, I will let you describe it off camera to me, but let's tell everyone how you got into working out.
I got into working out because I had mono for 6 months and I was really small. And I had some people that I knew that were pretty mean to me because I was so small. And it motivated me to want to build it back up my muscle and get back to where I had been in the past.
Yeah. So that's part of the story we're wanting to tell here. For those who have had mono before or have it, it's very serious. There's been people die from it multiple times. And at one time you got down to 80-something pounds.
85, 90 pounds.
85 pounds. And this was not like years and years ago. This was like just over a calendar year ago, correct? So that's the story I want to get out to people today. So you went from just over a calendar year ago, basically last January, to what you're about to endeavor in. And can you talk about that a little bit?
So I was so small, and then I had to bulk up to be able to cut back down. So I went from about 90 pounds to about 130 in the course of like 5-6 months, and then going down to stage weight, which took a lot of mental game,
right?
You could say
100%. It's a story that caught my eye when you and your mom told me about it, because you're doing opposite of what most people who do shows are. Most people are on the other end of the spectrum. Like they would be walking around at 150, 160. You're having to gain good, clean weight. But you were motivated by, you said, some people being mean to you. At what point was there something that happened where you were just kind of like looking at yourself thinking, man, I feel awful. I don't feel good. I'm down to 80-something pounds. Something's got to change. Was there a moment like that you had?
There was a moment that I did break down, and I really looked at myself and I was like, I have to do something. Because I had always been pretty built, like pretty ripped from gymnastics and all sports I played in the past. And I was like, this is not me.
That's right.
And I wanted to get back to so.
And you found your way here to 365 Fitness in Sardis, which I went to school with Jennifer. Can you talk about the relationship you've had with her and how she's obviously had a big influence in your life and to help you get to this point?
Me and Jennifer, we have a really good relationship. I would think she is like a second mom to me. She has helped me so much, and she's motivated me, and we looked and she found one that I compete in, and she's a friend more than a coach.
Right, which always helps. You couldn't compete in the normal NPC, correct? Because it's 18 and above. Yes. So she found a division that you could compete in. And she has experience herself, correct, doing this?
Yes, she has competed in 2 categories, actually.
So she knows what she's talking about. That's good. So how, let's take this, we're not doing a complete day in a life here like we've done with some other athletes, but take us through a normal day. You have got to be super busy with cheering, with gymnastics, with working out, with teaching classes here. Yes. Then you got to eat properly. Then you got to go to school. Then you got to study. Take us through a normal day, like a full day of yours.
Okay, so first thing I wake up in the morning, I go and I do some cardio. And then I go to school, eat my breakfast. And then I have my whole day at school. And then I come and I work out. Normally takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I teach a class 2 days a week. And then sometimes I have tumbling and cheer practice and other stuff I have to do. And I still like to make time to hang out with my family and my friends.
How on earth does that happen with homework? Then you got to shower. Then you get ready for bed. Where does that come in?
It pushes me, and sometimes I'm really exhausted. But you find time for things that are important to you.
That's true. Now, what about basketball season? Because you have multiple games during the week. You got to push that into the mix of all this. Well,
there are some mornings that I'm here early during basketball season, and sometimes I was here late after basketball games. And I tried to fit in. Like, I would work out, go to basketball game, or come back after school and finish whenever I didn't finish.
No doubt. Let me ask you this. When you got heavy into your training and you started seeing the results and you were gaining the weight back, was there a moment in that time you was like, okay, we're getting there, this is worth it? I know I'm not at the end of the journey, but I definitely see some progress here, and it made you just even hungrier to get out here and do this.
It definitely made me really excited because I started to feel like myself again. Everybody around me was like, you look good, you look like you feel better, you're healthier. I can tell that you really liked where you're going.
Now, at what point did you decide to do a show? Because you just came here just to gain mass back and tone up. What point did you say, okay, the reason I asked that other question was there a point where you was like, okay, I'm ready to do a show or try to do a show?
There's actually a girl that I followed. Her name is Tori. And I followed her, and she had done shows in the past. So I was like, okay, I really like that. And then I was like, that seems like something fun. And one day I was sitting here, I was like, I want to do one. And Chris and Jennifer looked, because I was actually sitting here, just at the front desk, waiting to like finish the workout or whatever. I was like, I want to do a show. They were like, you got to be 18. And I was like, sure, we can find one. I found one.
That's good. There ain't no doubt. That's definitely helped motivate you to get you back to where you are now. It's become a passion of yours. But you're also a big-time Christian as well. Can you talk about what God's meant to you in your life and obviously with your family and everything?
God plays a big role in my life. Sometimes I break down, I talk to him. If I feel like if I'm really exhausted, if I can't go anymore, it helps motivate me to keep going and keep doing what I love and just make sure I keep him involved in everything in my life.
I guarantee he helped you get through those times when you were sick, wouldn't he?
He did.
And probably some of the times when you're having to do squats and stuff.
Yes.
Because those are tough or whatever. Now, you're getting down to what I call the stretch run, like bottom of the night. We're about showtime. Talk about meal-wise. What are you having to eat now? Because that's totally different than what you have been eating. I don't even know how they would write yours up coming from where you did. But now you've dialed it in enough and you've gotten your weight back enough to where it's got to be certain things you can eat right now.
Well, right now, one of the biggest things, like I go to school and then I eat my breakfast. I have chicken and potatoes for breakfast. And I get some looks and people are like, ew. And I'm like, well, it works. And then I have some ground sirloin and almonds. And then I have more chicken and veggies. Then I have a post-workout, which is just a protein shake and some peanut butter. Then I go home and I eat fish and peanut butter and veggies, which my family complains about the food because it stinks up the house sometimes.
Is that true, Mom? Mom's in here, so I had to ask her. So you're eating 6 meals a day, correct? Yes. Right about 6 meals a day. You said you drink a gallon of water, whether it's showtime or not showtime.
Well, my water will start to, right now I'm at a gallon, and then I'll go to 2 gallons for a couple of days, and then a gallon and a half, and 3/4 of a gallon.
So, okay, it goes up, I guess, for like a natural flush, and then it comes back down.
From my body.
Yeah, because you want to be as lean, as low body fat, and as lean as you can coming down the stage. where is your nerves at during all this? Do you think you're going to be nervous during, like day of the show or day of you guys got to take photos and things?
I'm pretty nervous right now. I thought posing was going to be one of the hardest parts, but because of my cheer background, it's helped. But I'm actually very nervous, especially because I leave for the beach Saturday and I can't burn at all or mess up everything. So I have to be careful about that. And I'm more excited than nervous, but I think on Sunday, everything will hit and I'll just have adrenaline and I'll be super excited.
Yeah. So the day of the competition, you guys go in and weigh and pose early, correct?
We have like a little athletes meeting and we kind of walk through everything and they point us to where the X's on stage are, to what poses we do.
Gotcha. So how much time have you spent on that? Well, I'm sure Jennifer's the one helping you with that.
Yes, I spend, whenever I pose, the sessions are like 45 minutes to an hour and 15.
Daily, or not daily, but when you do it.
Most of the time, 2 times a week.
Gotcha. So, see, that would be the part that I'd never have to worry about. I'm too fat, but somebody who's doing a show, that would be the part that would probably get me.
It's definitely the most nervous because you're walking in hills that are about this big and you can't walk flat-footed or it makes a big clumping noise. You have to walk on your toes. You have to flex every muscle in your body and make sure you are vacuuming your stomach too. I'm sure everything looks perfect and keep smiling.
All at the same time.
Yes.
So that's the part I'm not trying to put any pressure on you. If you can do an interview like this, you can do the pose or whatever. What did your final thoughts before we stop talking about the show? And we got one other question. We'll shut it down. But what is your final thoughts about this journey? How's this journey been? I mean, you went from saying, people saying remarks about you that kind of hurt your feelings and motivated you to going through these trials and tribulations on the opposite end of a person who normally does a show. You've had to gain up to cut back down, basically. But to get to where you're at, sitting in this chair, all this hard work, all this dedication, what has that meant for you, that journey?
I feel like it has made me so much stronger as a person, and I feel like this sounds weird, but I feel like I can conquer anything. But when you go through all that and people are mean to you, people are going to be mean to you no matter what, because people are strong. But you have to realize that you're so much better than that and that you can go after your dreams, because this was a dream of mine, and I'm here less than a year later doing it, and it's sitting in with me, and I just feel so much stronger as a person.
No doubt.
More better-minded.
Anytime a guy told me this one time, it didn't make sense to me then, but it does now. He said, anytime you get complaints or somebody making fun of you, it's because of two things: jealousy, or they would like to be doing what you're doing, but they don't have the dedication to do it.
Yes.
And that came from a Navy SEAL, a real good friend of mine. He told me that, and I was like, that makes sense, because it's easy to sit on the couch and cast stones, but it's a lot harder to get in this gym and go for an hour and a half, then go to cheer, then eat 6 meals a day and stink up the parents' house with the food. And while everybody else is eating pizza and cake and all that, you're having to stay dialed in. So I commend you on what you're doing. But just final thoughts before we shut this interview down, because it's another school night. And I know your time's more precious than about any student we know right now, so I don't want to keep you in here all day. But just final thoughts on who all you'd like to talk about and thank for helping you get here, whether it be parents and obviously God and Jennifer and her husband and everybody.
I would like to special thanks to my family, especially my parents, because it's very expensive, very expensive. And my coaches, Jennifer and Kristen, for helping me and motivating me, and all my friends, because you realize who your true friends are when you have very little time, and who will stay around with you and manage around your time with you. And my siblings, they're supportive. It took them a little bit to understand how things were going to work, and that I couldn't just do things like, God, like, you're really eating that? Yes, so I am. But my family and friends and God have really helped me to stick with it and push through it, even on the hard days.
No doubt.
And that motivated me so much.
Well, that's awesome, young lady. And we're going to let this video come to an end, but we appreciate you for coming and sitting in with us. And we're going to monitor your event as you go through. The hard work needs to be. We're going to get this video up in the next day or so. So I appreciate you again, and appreciate 365 for letting us do this video. And obviously, we're super proud of you. And I grew up with your dad, so I've known you from the distance for a long time, and I'm proud of you, because I'm really good friends with a lot of guys who do this, and some girls, and And I've seen the other end of it where, you know, the hard work and the sacrifice. It's unbelievable what you're doing, especially from where you come from.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to shut this video down. Thank you.